As COVID-19 finally recedes in much of America, tonight we travel to one American neighborhood where not one but three epidemics have been raging all at the same time. Kensington in North Philadelphia is one of the poorest communities in the country and home to one of the largest open-air drug markets in the U.S. Overdose deaths and gun violence have soared there during the pandemic. But in the midst of it all, a group of street chaplains is literally fighting to keep hope alive through boxing and the Bible. Here's our Devin Dwyer.
They call it The Rock.
Why did you come here? Why did you come to The Rock?
Because of my father. I was born into The Rock.
How often do you come here?
Like every day.
It's like my second home. Second home. A safe haven.
A safe haven in North Philadelphia for 18 years, teaching young people how to fight and how to pray.
Lord, we thank you for today. We thank you for this opportunity.
On Kensington Avenue, The Rock is a refuge. Outside its doors are apocalyptic scenes. A tsunami of epidemics have been crashing together and claiming lives.
So what do they say?
It's an OD. Somebody OD'd.
We saw drug use in broad daylight for blocks. Heroin addicts hunched over and lifeless.
Hey, hon, are you okay? Honey, are you okay? Yeah, she's all right. She looked like she was out.
Homeless young people living among mounds of trash, the putrid smell wafting on every corner.
This is now allowed to be gone.
Is this the worst you've ever seen it?
Yes. Yeah, I've never seen anything like this. You know, even as a
you
police
grew up
officer.
here?
I grew up here. I walked these streets as a kid.
Retired cop Kevin Bernard is one of the Rock's street chaplains. He says COVID has pulled resources from the fight against opioid addiction and gun violence.
Our shootings didn't stop. As of today, I talked to somebody, we have 199 homicides. It's only through the grace of God can things change. And that's what the chaplains are doing here. We're spiritual first responders.
I was born and raised here.
At the heart of the mission is 62-year-old pastor Buddy Osborne, a son of Kensington who knows its pain. In his late 20s, he was convicted on federal racketeering charges, serving 5 years behind bars. After his release, he found God and a calling to help young people avoid his mistakes, opening Rock Ministries in 2003.
The next generation of kids, Devin, should not have to experience what they experienced on an everyday basis in Kensington.
What's the answer to fixing those things? I mean,
The
they're
answer-
so huge.
Yeah, here's the answer. The answer is you doing your job, me doing my job, the mayor doing his job, the police doing their job, and every one of us coming together to do our jobs. That's the solution. Because to me, when it's one person trying to make a change, it don't work.
Volunteers at The Rock have been coaching Kensington kids throughout the pandemic.
Down the place, son. Come on.
Risking the virus, they say, to keep the kids from an even deadlier risk on the streets. Several times a week, a group of chaplains walk the avenue, ministering to a growing number of homeless and addicted young adults in the neighborhood's only park.
The chaplains from The Rock are reaching out right now. Everywhere around here you can see people who are shooting up in the open. Never seen anything like this before. The sadness, the pain on people's faces.
For this 26-year-old woman, it began with an ankle surgery, hooked on Percocet and then heroin.
Heroin, I went to jail. Heroin, I lost my house. Heroin's different.
She says her mom just wants her to come home.
Can I ask you a question? How did you get addicted to it? What was it that you were seeking at that time? It's a very
think it's
important
what
question.
it gave me, it's what it took away.
What did it take away?
And the sadness, the things that I didn't want to feel.
One of my daughters has, she has like 3.5 years sobriety, two years sobriety, you know, and she's given me a beautiful grandson. But I look at you and I think this could be my daughter.
The chaplains tried to get her into detox, but she refused.
We are literally a mile and a half how the crow flies from the Declaration of Independence where it was signed. And you said it in your own words, you've never seen anything like this. Is this America? We're here 18 years, and I've never seen this neighborhood as dark as it is.
The pandemic and its disproportionate impact on low-income communities and people of color has exacerbated a vicious cycle. Nationwide, more Americans died of drug overdoses during COVID than any other year since the opioid epidemic began. Philadelphia posting one of the highest overdose death rates in the country. Gun violence has also surged, homicides in Philly up 40% so far this year. Kensington is one of its deadliest neighborhoods.
Bro, let me tell you something. The pandemic is nothing here. And I don't mean to minimize that. But what you see out here in the streets, this was before the pandemic. This has been ongoing.
Pastor Buddy has turned the Rock into an anchor of hope, a community hub for donations and charity. Police Division Captain Pedro Rosario says it's been critical.
You can't arrest your way out of this. This really is, it's not a crime issue, it's a social issue. So how do we as a society attack it?
How critical are the chaplains from the Rock on that mission?
Very. Kevin and his team, they're the steadying force. The Rock is an essential part of this community. And you see the positive influence that they have around the area. And listen, without their support, it would just be 10 times worse for us.
Come on, give me that. Woo!
What is it about boxing?
Everyone in the hood can fight until they realize that they can't, and they need to learn the proper way to box, you know? So boxing is a great means to teach kids discipline, to keep them, focused on the task at hand.
The Rock's success stories are abundant. 14-year-old Manny, 9-year-old Ariel, 15-year-old Johnny, national champion, and 22-year-old Tyler Williams, who started coming to the Rock when he was 11, now has a career as an engineer and has gone pro.
I believe what he taught me the most in the ring is just to be poised and to always stay calm and relaxed no matter what the other guy is bringing. We have to stay calm and believe in ourselves, finish the job.
Here.
Yep, and here that comes from God, our connection. He can look in my face and just know what I'm feeling already. He knows how to talk to me, he knows how to guide me through the difficult times, through the easy times.
What was it like to grow up around here?
So you just become numb to the fact that there's addicts on the corner who's shooting themselves with needles and stuff. As a kid, 11, 12 years old, I walked right past them just to get here to the gym. So it was kind of just you got blinders on.
You won't come into the Rock and be a gangster. It's not going to happen. It's not going to work. We won't, hold it against you, but you'll slowly but surely realize you're not allowed. You don't curse. You curse in the building. You do push-ups. So there's a respect when you come into the Rock, and he's definitely a product of that.
A role model for countless others now following in his footsteps.
What's it mean to see Tyler go pro? Is he somebody you look up to?
Yeah, somebody I look up to. I look up to him since I was a little kid.
Really?
He was fighting since amateur, and he turned pro.
There are a lot of young people here that want to be like you. They want to go pro. Mm-hmm. What do you tell them? What's the key to making it in Kensington?
I would just tell them to stay dedicated and stay grounded. There's a lot of negative things, right outside those doors, but you have to have a strong will and, be deep in your words and know, I have to move different from everyone else in order to make it somewhere else.
Takes courage.
Yeah.
Courage to fight and to believe, keeping hope alive in a troubled American neighborhood when it needs it most. For ABC News, I'm Devin Dwyer in Philadelphia.
Such a powerful moment there when the young lady talks about heroin, saying it's not what it gave her, but it's what it takes away. Our thanks to Devin for that.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.